All right. All right, I got 6 o'clock. If y'all will stand, and we'll open the meeting with a prayer followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah. Bow your heads, please. Dear Lord, we'd just like to thank you for this day, Lord. And we like you to be with us in this meeting today and help us do the city's business to the best of our ability. Lord, we just ask your blessing upon this town. And Lord, we just thank you for this upcoming season, the Christmas season, and we just let it be in everybody's heart what the true meaning of Christmas is, Lord. In Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I want to welcome everybody to the December 2015 regular scheduled meeting of the Hawkinsville City Commission. Yeah, I've already hit it. Oh, it stopped. It's at the end of the tape. You want me to go and flip it?
Yeah.
Y'all bear with me a second here. Okay. We'll start our meeting one, welcoming David back. Glad to have you back, Dave. Glad you're doing well.
Look good.
First thing on our agenda is citizens' comments. We give our citizens a chance to bring up any issues that they may have before we go through the full agenda, in case you don't want to stay and watch our exciting meetings. Is anybody, I'll just open the floor up. And nobody signed in, nobody's got any comments now. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Renell McDonald. I forgot to sign that again.
That's okay.
But I'm a citizen of Hawkinsville, Georgia. Wonder what y'all do with the property on Poplar Street, the abandoned apartments on Poplar Street. We got some people that live in them now and stuff, and it's kind of dangerous also. I was wondering what the city going to plan on tearing down, or are they going to?
Well, the city owns 2 of those properties on the very end, towards the houses, but the ones from that, the rest of them, back towards 6th Street is owned by a private property owner. And we'll get in touch with him on getting them cleaned up again. He hadn't cleaned it one time, at least the property.
Right.
But we'll be glad to contact him again. So that's owned by an individual.
So it's not for sale, not yet, what you're trying to say?
It's for sale, yes, sir.
I haven't seen no for sale sign, that's why I asked, because I like to buy some of the property myself.
It's available.
Yeah.
See me afterwards and I'll give you his contact information.
Thank
Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to check and see how things was running with the sidewalk.
Right. That's a part of my presentation tonight, and I've got the drawings that you and I looked at.
Yeah,
So we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Great.
I don't have a dollar figure yet, but we can talk about it.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay, moving right along. Next item is to approve the minutes with changes, if any, of the November 2nd regular meeting. We have been emailed these in advance and hopefully have had a chance to look over them.
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion to approve and a second. Any discussion or changes? Hearing none. All those in favor of these as presented, and it's unanimous. No old business. Under new business, Darrell Brown's term on the Historic Preservation Board is coming up. Historically on this board, no pun intended, historically on this board we have, the bylaws allow for 1 renewal on each member. So, and I think you indicated Darrell was willing to serve his second time. So, do I hear a motion to appoint Darrell for that position?
Absolutely. I make a motion to keep Darrell on.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Any discussion or other nominations? Hearing none. All those in favor of Darrell? All right, Mr. Brown will stay on for another term. Next item on our agenda, and we have this in our book as well, is to appoint a member to the Middle Georgia Regional Commission. Each year, we have to reappoint our membership, and by law, 1 person from the city commission is always a member of that. Henry has been our member, and you're willing to do it again. So, any problems with Henry doing that?
Motion to approve, motion to nominate Henry Cravey to the Middle Georgia Regional Commission.
Got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Henry will remain our regional commission representative. Now, that's the only one we need to do, correct? And then you and Butch appoint another one. Okay. All right, we've got a recommendation from our city administration on the Christmas holiday closing schedule, and they are scheduled, suggesting that we close on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. That's December 24th and 25th.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion?
Second it.
And a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? All right. Except for Judy. I think she needs to work those days. Okay. All right. We need to adopt a pre-disaster mitigation plan. Tim, tell me about this.
This is in your book as well. Periodically, we review this plans, and this is just a review of the last plan that we had. Middle Georgia Regional Commission does the work for us and updates any significant properties or things that, any new items like the new firehouse has to be put on there. So this allows us to, in case of an emergency, in case of a disaster, we're able to apply for FEMA funds. Without that, you're at the back of the line,
Okay.
and this allows us to apply for those funds.
David, do I need to read this? It's a resolution.
I think you can summarize it.
Okay, well, and Tim just did that. Whereas the Hawkinsville Pulaski County Emergency Management Agency has prepared this plan, the city of Hawkinsville realizes the plan is vital. We understand the funding, as Tim just told us. Pulaski County and the city are required to maintain this plan. Our county commissioner approved his at his meeting this morning. So now therefore be it resolved that the city of Hawkinsville formally adopts this pre-disaster hazard mitigation plan. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Got a motion by Commissioner Field,
Second.
second. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Okay. Next is LMIG. LMIG is Local Maintenance Improvement Grant, I believe, with the Department of Transportation. This is, each year the DOT gives us a little bit of money for resurfacing projects within the city. And we have to do a 30% match on that dollar. And from our understanding this year, we should get right at $50,000 from the state. Our match will be about $15,000. So we're looking at about a $65,000 income to us for being able to resurface some roads. Our city administration and road crews have, along with input from us and citizens, have prioritized the list. Well, I don't know, is this listed
This is
priority
not a
order?
priority.
Okay, this is just the roads that
Correct.
they're saying need it, and it's up to us to prioritize those and see how far that money will go, and how far it doesn't go, we can, hopefully put some money in the next wash to do the rest of these, but, the only changes I wanna go ahead and mention to you, the cost on Dooley Street, one of our roads that we're looking at is Dooley Street. And our engineer quoted that as taking that down, to the dirt. And, which it probably needs it, but if we do that, that's pretty much all of our money. If we just resurface it, it would be, I'm assuming, about the same cost as Warren Street, because it's the same length, which is only 11,000. I'll go ahead and tell you guys my thoughts.
The 55 is to take it down?
Yeah.
Correct.
And-
All in one street.
Well, I agree. I think we got some, I'd like to resurface that one as is for 11 rather than spending 55. I do think that road needs to be done. And one change that I would recommend on Anderson, we've got Anderson Road on here. Our engineer quoted that basically all of Anderson Road. And I'm suggesting we start on Broad Street, but end at Reynolds, because that's where all the bad parts are.
Mhm.
And, that would basically almost cut that in half. So I think we could do that for probably 24,000. And then the other suggestion I've got, on Warren Street, the bad spots are on the end of that road. The middle of that road is okay. So I'm thinking we just leave the two ends. Save a bunch of money.
Are you talking the sides of the road or the end?
The end where you turn, where the brakes hit, you know,
Okay.
buckles up the road. And I think, it's my thought, I'm just giving y'all my thoughts on it.
Look at that.
Can't we, some of these short streets, can't we do some of them like Fifth Street? That's a street that really needs.
That's horrible.
I mean, if we could cut back and do one street like Fifth Street and maybe, what's the one up there, Sixth Street, that's another one that's traveled quite a bit. We need to look at those streets that are traveled, I know, we need to do them all, but the ones that are traveled the most, it's like Sixth Street. You got people that work all up and down and go across the pond out there and all that. And we also got,
Well, we give it to them in a priority list first.
But when they decide they're gonna do what they wanna do.
But historically, they've done what we've
They
asked
know
them to.
what, how we run, then we may only get 2 or 3 streets done, but it's how we list them usually.
Okay.
What do y'all want to
I got it.
We'll go decide right now?
Nah, I would.
I don't think so.
do? Okay, well, let's,
Why don't each of you email me your suggestions, top 5, and then
Okay.
I'll multi-vote each one of them, and we'll come back to the list.
that suits me. So this isn't an action item then, as far as us voting. We just got a list to give to them. Okay. Next on the agenda, my favorite part of the meeting, approve the business licenses. This month, we have 2. Quigg Heating and Air at 76 Pierce Estates. Jacob Quigg is the applicant. And also Conga, 103 Commerce Street. This is a restaurant that's moving from one location to another. And I think they'll be very pleased with where they're moving.
Motion to approve.
Said it.
Motion second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? All right, passes unanimously. Next item, city manager update.
All right, old meetings from November meeting is the Highland Avenue Neighborhood CDBG grant. That continues to be worked. They've had to back up a little bit on previous work, so Lance had to shoot some more grading for them. So that work continues, and it looks like it may be another 3 or 4 weeks with some streets, problems in some streets and blocking those. But that's continuing. River Market, the Bates Roofing has completed the roofing portion. They did the guttering the last part of last week and the first part of this week. So they'll be about through with the guttering. And then we'll have a walkthrough. We want it to rain another couple of times before we sign off on it, but make sure it's right. But anybody's welcome to climb that ladder with me that day. 6th Street sidewalk. I do have 2 drawings on the sidewalk that goes from 6th Street from what Industrial Park all the way down to the very last street. I think that's Railroad Street down there. So one is curb and gutter, and one is just a flat sidewalk with asphalt up to it. Lance is giving me prices on both of those, so we can have a ballpark of either one. But it would extend all the way down the cemetery side of that 6th Street. And so they look pretty good.
Great.
So those are the old items we have.
You know when he might get a surprise?
He should have it late tomorrow, he said. He was in my office just before this meeting, so.
Will you email that to us?
The harness facility, the horsemen are beginning to arrive. They started arriving really in late October through November. We've had even more now in the last first few days of December. We got 100+ horses. We had a barrel racing event late in November with about 200 horses and around 300 people were here for a weekend. So Jim and his crew are doing a terrific job out there. It's really shaping up, and we expect to hit our target of 240 horses at a high point. Last year, a high point was 180, so it's really good. He also has, I think, 16 horses that are just staying overnight. So he's able to get on these boards on the internet of people just passing through or coming to the Perry Fairgrounds, and they just need a place to stay overnight. We charge them $15 a night to stay, and all they're doing is passing through. So that word's getting out as well.
I know he was looking into, some therapeutic.
Yeah.
Is he, are we still progressing on
Yeah,
that?
I've talked to her. She lives in Kennesaw, Georgia. She's coming down after the holidays. 1st of January, we should have her here and be able to. But we really can't do anything while the horsemen are there to get started. And once
Right.
we're up and running, they have no problem at all with it. So,
Okay.
but they're coming in January. So.
Okay.
Do we ever get that 10 that's fixed? We got that fixed now? Is it
That-
10?
We're looking to take that building down, actually, completely, and put a pole barn over that part of it, so that they can have vendors and different things during the festivals and that kind of
So I would
stuff.
take that out.
We're looking at taking the whole thing
Sure.
down. Commerce Street traffic, we have had a meeting with DOT regarding realignment of Highway 26, which is our Commerce Street, getting the heavy trucks off of that road, and we had a drawing for Mr. Adam Smith that came and visited. He had some really good suggestions, which we incorporated and have a new drawing, and so we got to reschedule a meeting with him and Harlan Smith from the office in Thomaston to come take a look and give us more direction on what they would like for us to do. They were very encouraging. Adam was very encouraging as we came out of the meeting.
Sure.
And so we would like to see that go forward as far as we can take it. But it is a realignment, it is a multi-year project, and it's a pretty significant change to the way we approach downtown. And you see our notes there on utilities. We put door knockers out for a number of people, and that kind of brought everybody in, so that was good. So then, the next page is your commercial past due. It's about where it normally is, and I think you've seen some of it a couple of times. But that's all that's left on our commercial past dues. The following page is your work order list. We had some help getting work orders this month from Shelley and posted on Facebook, but I think Shelley would agree. Our guys responded quickly and got them done, and
They did.
and moved on, so they did a terrific job.
They did a great job on that.
So they jumped all over, so that's good. And the next section is our charts. These are really trend charts, and they're trending where they should be. You can see that the water sewer jumped up again in November, and H&B had to pull some more water for us, from us for their well. It's been acting up, but they're now off of our water, so we're back to the what we would normally see for a month. Any questions on those charts out there? Okay.
Okay, Lee, have you got an archway report for us?
Yes, I can report from Michelle that the youth leadership class is kicked off with a great start. I'd say probably 24 kids from, I think this year we maybe had one, I think, from Dodge County, Lance County, Dodge County, Fullerton, and Westfield. It's a good class, had a good kickoff, and they got a great, the activities, it's gonna be good. Also too, I had an opportunity last week to go to Athens. This class of primarily public relations students, seniors, that whole class project was a study on Hawkinsville on the enduring farmland trail. and looked at us as far as how they would look at, as far as tourism, and seeing what our assets were, and they put together, they were divided, I imagine the class was 20+ people, they were divided teams of 2 or 3, and their project was to put together a presentation that we could use to market ourselves to somebody else. And of course, they were right on it when they picked out the track, the Opera House, the river, M&T, Hardy Farms, and they pretty much, and I made the comments that, man, y'all right on track. Y'all see what we've got, and you see what we need to market. And it's always an opportunity to see how other people view us, and you look and say, like, man, you're right on it. And also, too, Tim asked a question this morning, we will get a copy of those presentations.
Okay, good.
And they were very good, and I enjoyed that. And that's some more benefits that we get out of Archway.
Okay, United Plastic?
United Pulaski can very gladly report that it's a pleasure working with Tim. We've got a very active project that we are working on right now that I hope we can make some announcements very soon. Got another project on solar that I kind of looked into, but it's a pretty small area. I don't know if it'll work that well for us or not. And of course, they're looking like anything else, tax abatement. So, but things are looking good. It looks like there's a little bit more attention being put to the south. And as far as this regional thing, there's still much involved in it. And we're going to Atlanta again to see the project managers in April, and another development authority through the RC, Central Georgia Development Authority. We got an email today from Sam. We're going to be a member of that also too. And talking to Tim, I think we need 4 representatives on that, which would be pretty much kind of like, I guess, going to an RC meeting.
Right.
Everything's looking pretty good.
All right, thanks, Luke.
Give a couple more updates on Archway. The Master Gardener program that they're heading up, that Michelle's heading up, we actually had 4 to turn in applications for that, so that should start in January. And we're looking forward to having 4 Master Gardeners in Hawkinsville, and one of them is a city employee, so he will look after downtown and those types of things. So we're excited about that. That's through the UGA Extension office will do that training as well. Also, our website, the community-wide website that we've consolidated. Sarah is representing the county. Judy and Chelsea are doing the city side of that. And Donna's doing the county side, chamber side. And it's coming along really good. It's already out there. We're just not publishing it because we are still updating and fine-tuning and putting more just like we like it. But I think once it's live, I think you'll be happy with it and impressed.
Sounds good.
Shannon, one other thing, please. I'll get in trouble if I fail to mention this. Talk with Chuck. Chuck, a big conservancy event that was council is going to come back in January. He's really excited about that and getting involved in that, getting these people here. And also, too, this other 11 county Oakmulgee Water Trails that we're involved in, and I'm the vice president of that. We got an event that we're going to have in May. And we've asked Chuck to help us with that. It will start in probably Blakely and end up here and bring a lot of people here. We're talking about 11 communities. So as far as tourism, bringing people to town, we're kind of utilizing the river, so I think that would be good for us too.
Great, thank you, Lee. Many of y'all are aware our Mitchell Woods, our finance director, is out sick. Our prayers need to be with Mitchell. He's fighting some serious stuff, and our prayers are certainly with him. And I believe Phil told me he's home today.
Yeah, he's home. He got home this afternoon. He's doing well as could be expected.
We're certainly all lifting him up in our prayers. But tonight we've got Judy with us to give the finance director reports. Y'all have the reports in your
I'll give the reports. If you have questions, we'll talk to you.
Okay.
We're talking to the one who knows what's going on.
I understand.
You can see our cash in the bank you see there as at the end of October. Notice that is October because we haven't received our November statements yet, but you see cash in the bank $1,431,000, about 120,000 ahead of the prior month. So that's all of our cash in the bank as of the end of October 31. The next page, you typically don't see that, so that's something new for you that Judy put together for us. It just lists our funds and our expenses for the current month of November, okay? So what you see there is revenue is current month of November. The expenditures came from the previous month. We pay them a month later, so there's always a lag in the expenditure side from the revenue side. Case in point is gas, where you see we didn't recover all of our gas project, where we bill in one month, but we paid the previous month, and right now, gas continues to go down. And so the revenues will be down, although the expenses were up because the prior month, our gas cost us more money. So you'll see that, the ebb and flow of that throughout the process. So you see that where we have for the revenues and the expenses so far. And
I like this.
you may have a question on special revenue right there. That line item is our Cider Creek. That's the revenue from Cider Creek, what we charge them each month. And then the expense side of that is our payment on the spec building.
Okay.
So those are that line item right there that you wouldn't naturally know. So, any questions on that page? Now, the following page, I put the track chart in there, and all these charts probably need to fall into the finance section rather than a separate thing, but you'll see that the green line is our current year, and we're already ahead of last year, and we've already billed out, which I think is a couple of things about 12,000 for this month already. One reason you see the big spike early on in the year is some of these horsemen come in and write a check for the whole season. So you get all that money at one time, and then they stay the whole season. And that's why you see it doing like it is. But they're here earlier this year, that's good, and they're continuing to.
They're gonna stay later.
They stay later. So that's, nothing keeps us up at night, and all the bills are paid. That's what you normally ask us.
Yep. Anything keeping you up? Okay, any questions on the finance reports? All right, next we'll go to commissioner comments. Commissioner Colson, I'd like to start with you.
Okay, first thing I'd like to do is thank the American Legion Post 125 for putting out their flags at all of the cemeteries, like the entrance of the cemeteries. And the next thing I want to say a few words about is my special man, Mr. Phil Neesmith. Phil is a jolly guy. You know, I've known Phil, I had him in school, and he's always been that kind of guy, you know. The other night when we had those students, the student council that come around here, and the gifted folks, you know, that plan on or possibly might pursue a career in politics, you know, Phil asked the question. Mr. Colson says, where was I? Well, Phil, you know Phil, he was back there joking around. That's why he never got to be one of those guys that made the grade to be there. That was not my fault, that was him. And Phil has always been that. And, you know, I served on council with Phil's daddy, and, you know, I've just known him, you know, all just about most of his life. And you know, I'm going to miss him. And when we go on trips to Savannah or wherever we go, you can better bet. That's the man with all that laughter, you know. He keeps everybody laughing, and we just have a lot of fun. So, Phil, I just want to let you know I'm going to miss you, buddy, but I will be stopping by and we'll be talking. And Ken, while you coming on, if you don't know any jokes, you better get your book started. Okay, that's all.
Thank you, James, I appreciate that.
Henry?
Okay, I got, one thing, the parade was a great success this Saturday night, and I really enjoyed it, all of my family. And Phil, I want to tell you also that I've enjoyed, been an honor serving with you, man, it has.
You too, Henry.
Yeah, I'll just reiterate, when I thought about getting on city commission, the first thing I did was went around to Phil's office, and he stopped what he was doing, got in the car with me, and we drove around, and he showed me things and talked about it, encouraged me, and just want you to know I really appreciate it. Go miss you.
Enjoy working with you, Sheriff.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna be missed.
In more than one way.
Big shoes, no doubt about it. Left a lot of big tracks for folks to
Well, I'm a block away, and, Ken, you got a good guy coming on, so, I mean, you know, he'll hit the ground running. I've enjoyed it, it's been 20 years, most of it's been enjoyable, some of it hadn't been enjoyable. And that I won't miss, but I'm always around, and I just, you know, I'm not gonna start calling names because I'll leave somebody out, but there's just been so many people that I've enjoyed working with over the years, and I had the pleasure, James served with my dad, and he was one of my school teachers, and that's always meant a lot to me. It's just the whole staff at City Hall, Judy, Betty, Jesse, I will mention you, and Tim. And it's just been a real pleasure working with you guys, and I thank you. That's all I got to say.
And as much as I'm gonna miss you, Phil, I'm gonna miss Krista just as much.
Well, I understand.
Really.
But
Gonna miss
we'll
you.
always be around.
Absolutely.
And thank you.
Anybody else got anything to come before us?
Can I say one thing?
Absolutely.
Before I say anything, I'd like to, say that if what I'm saying is not appropriate for this time, don't blame somebody else. And if it's not appropriate, remember I've had some health issues. And also it's Christmas. But I just want to thank Hawkinsville and Pulaski County for the great support they gave my nephew, Larry Walker III. He's a mighty good man,
66%
and that's great.
for Hawkinsville.
And I just want y'all to know we appreciate it very much.
We're looking forward to working with Larry, and he's gonna do us a great job. We really are. And, if he won't return our calls, we know how to get in touch with him.
If he won't return your calls, you call me.
I don't think that's gonna be a problem. I've dealt with Larry on a, personal level. I did his websites, a couple of them for years, until I sold that company, and he was a pleasure to work with.
Good
And,
man.
very good, and he's gonna serve us well. So I think that's very appropriate. Anything else to come before us? Thank you, Commissioner Hall, for being here.
I'd like to know who got the new pictures back here. Because those other ones were very
Well,
tired,
Chuck-
and I really
Chuck
appreciate it.
Chuck did those.
I took those pictures
you did?
when Mike Reese took me on a helicopter ride. So I took them with my phone, and Chelsea got them matted and put up there, and we just.
We all like-
It was long overdue, it was long overdue.
I'm sorry, man. I ain't seen something. You got a
Do what we
nice,
can.
you got a good
Sorry.
phone. Let me say this, and I also want to say it's a pleasure working with, County Commissioner Hall. Butch served with my dad, Butch served with me.
Yeah.
And I didn't see him back, I don't know how I missed him. I forgot. Thank you, Butch. And Lee, thank you.
You got anything?
I do. I just wanted to remind everybody, it's not many people that serve 20 years.
That's true.
And I did have the privilege of serving on Phil for 6 years, of course, James too, and he did a very commendable job. And I'm sure that Ken will fill in and do a good job also. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you.
I'll add to what Phil said. I don't know if I'm gonna thank him or not. He approached me about 11 or 12 years ago, and I was right in the middle of my own business, and he approached me about doing this. And I said, man, I can't do this. I've already done it one time, and had to pay for the business when I walked away. So, and Phil approached me again, and I said, well, yeah, this sounds like something I love Hawkinsville, and we might make a difference. So that's been 12 years, and like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna thank you or not.
I don't know that, I'm not sure though, I'm glad you said that.
Do we need executive tonight? Okay.
Thanks, Lee.
Anything else to come before us? At this time, I'd like us, make a motion to enter executive session for discussion of personnel, potential litigation, and/or, what's the other one? Oh, purchase of real estate.
Second.
All those do we vote on? Yeah, all those in favor? Thank y'all, and everybody have a Merry Christmas, and remember,
Thank y'all, guys.
on a personal note, remember what the season is about.